ponds. Start out on my fluger throwing this Sexy Shad crankbait KVD 1.5. And I got my spinning rod, 12-pound test with a Z-Man watermelon red finesse worm on a 1/4 ounce shaky head jig. So hopefully. Alright guys, I'm going to show you now how I'm working this Sexy Shad crankbait. So it's a KVD 1.5 and it dives 3 to 5 feet. But I don't want this bait just to dive and just keep reeling all the way down at the bottom because there's a lot of grass down there. I want this bait to kind of run through the middle, not exactly on the top and not down low at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast this thing out there and then let the ripples clear because it's a pretty big bait, so it makes pretty big splash. So I'm going to let the waves or ripples clear from it. And then if you watch offshore fishing, they kind of pump up and then reel down to it. They pull the rod up and reel down. I'm going to pretty much do that with this, but it just lets it go down 3 feet. The bottom of the pond is probably about 5 feet, 6 feet, so I want it to run in that 3-4 area. So I'm going to pull up real slow and then reel down to it. And when I reel down to it, that bait's going to float up and it's just going to go back down and float up and back down. So I'm going to show you real quick what I'm talking about. So I cast that thing out there and it hits the water. Now I want to wait for that splash to clear because I can see that bait hit and now everything around it just took off. So now that the stuff's cleared, I'm going to take this rod, pull up, reel down to it, pull up, reel down to it. And like I said earlier, that's just letting it stay in that neutral zone. And those fish aren't at the bottom because all the grass. They're not at the top, but they're just in that middle area. So just work that back nice and slow and they'll hit it. So and that grass is on the bottom, that bait comes back perfectly clean, nothing on it. So it saves a lot of time. You don't have to sit there, spend 10-20 minutes picking off grass and whatever, and getting your bait caught on the bottom. So it saves a lot of time and it catches fish. So good luck. Fish, just deep cranking this shallow crank. I wasn't really deep cranking, but just threw it out in the middle and started doing the retrieve I showed you guys I've been doing. So little fish. Also another trick when you're using crankbaits like this, and they've got all these hooks, 6 hooks on this little thing, and those fish are jumping and spazzing out and shaking. Trick to that to stop so you don't get a hook thrown in your hand is instead of grabbing them by the mouth like this and getting hooks out, grab right there. You can see they have black dots on their gills. They have them on both sides. If you pinch both those down, or just both their gills, and just pinch them down like that and hold them down, that fish won't move, and you can get the hooks out without getting a hook thrown in your hand. So, little fish. So, first thing I'm gonna throw there is this crankbait. I'm gonna throw it on the outer, deeper part of the hole. So, see if I can get one. Now, my cast I made was a little bit past the hole, which is what I want, because I don't want to throw that bait right in that hole and just scare all the fish. And now I can see my bait and it's out of the hole. And oh man, there was a fish, but it was a little fish. But now I'm gonna put that crankbait up and then throw this spinning reel with the finesse worm on it instead. Oh, I got tangled there. Alright. Now I'm gonna throw this spinning reel, watermelon red finesse worm, And this bait, I'm actually throw it right in the hole instead of on the outside. Just twitch it a couple times. Ideally, what I want to do with this pocket up here is just pretty much fish from the outside all the way in until I can find where those fish are sitting at. So I've made a couple casts to the outside. I can see my bait and double check nothing's following it. Pull it out and just make another cast closer in this time. And that time I threw it right in the hole. So and I have a fish. Oh, it got off. What happens is this worm will come off like that, and you just gotta push it back up the shank of the hook and then put it back on that peg. The only thing I hate with these finesse worms is that the screw locks on jigs or shaky head, just they won't go in the bait because the bait's pretty much just made out of rubber. Oh, that's a good one. This deeper water on the outside of that pocket. Stay down, don't jump, don't jump. I mean, it just hit the water and he smacked it. Oh, jeez. Get the camera view differently. Better fish. So, get this hook out real quick. Z-Man finesse worm, watermelon red. Just fished probably about 4.5, 5 feet off from the sewer, out in the deeper water, right after I missed that little fish, and then just got this pretty good one. So, good fish. Me and Cody are out this pond, and you can see it's really cloudy. It started sprinkling earlier. Throwing this storm popper. Ow, dude. Just cut me with the line. Got this pretty good fish. Get the hooks on. Those pliers in my bag or your bag? Yeah, I could probably get it.
Those dogs are annoying. Every place we go. Nothing but dogs.
Good fish. Don't bite me. Good fish, probably about 2 pounds. So, storm popper.